Happy Monday, everyone. I'm Pete from Four Corner Resources, and here are the job headlines you need to know for today. First, Duolingo's CEO just put a pause on his robots are coming message sent in an email from a few months ago. It caused a lot of panic at his company, but despite rolling out an AI-first push, he's now saying no full-time employees will be laid off. Instead, Marcus Van Ahn told the New York Times that AI is helping rethink roles, not shrink them. He said engineers won't be replaced, but will instead shift to tasks that will guide AI so that one person can accomplish more. That sounds great in theory, but does it also sound like they'll be teaching their replacement? Because we all know that's never happened before. Oh wait, that's exactly what happens when jobs are sent offshore. Let's hope that's not the case here. Time will tell, certainly something to monitor, but there's no question he definitely felt the heat from the message that he delivered a couple months back, and he's trying to retract it. Hopefully he means what he says. Now let's shift to some rare good AI news for U.S. workers. This is based on an article in Axios this morning. They say that according to MIT's State of AI in Business 2025 report, AI isn't taking U.S. jobs yet. Instead, AI is quietly cutting contracts with offshore and outsourced workers. The report shows that only about 3% of roles are affected currently, but up to 27% of jobs could be AI replaced down the road, with outsourced jobs being impacted the most. Interesting 27% number. I think these numbers continue to be really arbitrary, much different than the 6 to 7% that was being talked about last week by Goldman Sachs that I shared on, I think that was on Friday. The numbers are all over the place. No one really knows what's going to happen with AI, but I'll take the good news where we can find it. And as it relates to outsourced jobs being cut instead of U.S. jobs, I'll consider that a win. Moving on, according to a CNBC article, the Great Recession has become the Great Stay. It turns out that after years of job hopping being the norm, many workers are now job hugging. Job hugging, have you heard that one yet? A new term for me again. I keep hearing these new terms. Job hugging is where employees are clinging to their roles like lifeboats. According to Korn Ferry, most employees plan to stay put for the next 6 months as optimism in the job market has hit its lowest since 2023, and even top performers aren't moving unless the offer is nearly irresistible. The article goes on to say that more CEOs reported plans to shrink their workforce over the next 12 months and expand it, the first time that's occurred since 2020, and that's according to a Conference Board quarterly poll published last week. So again, job hugging, look, that's not for good reason that they're staying. If they're worried and they're pessimistic about what's happening in the job market, I think that's in large part for good reason. But I will always recommend don't leave the job you're in unless you've secured another one. Go to something great. Don't just run away from something because you're not happy in that role. It's always tough to find a great job, always something to be taken very seriously. So I think it's okay that workers are job hugging right now, but we know that workers should and are always looking for their next great opportunity. So continue to do that too. Just don't jump at the first thing that comes your way. All right, so this morning, Forbes published an article saying we don't need BLS data to gauge how well the economy is doing. It gives us 11 indicators to use instead. So here they are. I'm going to power through them. One, ADP payroll data. So that's their monthly national employment report. I talk about that a lot. I always report on it when it comes out. It's data that I really rely on. The Truflation U.S. Aggregate Inflation Index. That uses blockchain to track inflation. Number 3 is the hemline index. Yes, actual hemlines. Apparently, the shorter the skirts, the better the economy. Number 4, nighttime lights and satellite imagery. Brighter is better. Number 5, the Forbes Cost of Living Extremely Well Index, which tracks the price of luxury goods. Number 6, the Big Mac Index, tracks burger prices. Number 7, the Help Wanted Online Index. I think that one speaks for itself. The lipstick effect. Apparently, people buy even more lipstick when the economy is bad. I have to put some thought into why that might be. Use your own, come with your own opinion on that one. The pawn shop index. Unfortunately, that's probably a sad but true, really accurate indicator of how things go. The coffee shop index. When expensive coffee shops aren't packed, well, then things generally aren't good in the economy. And then finally, the men's underwear index. Apparently, men won't buy underwear when times are tight. They'll just wear it as long as they need to, or perhaps won't wear it at all. We don't need to think too much about that. But there you have it. The 11 indicators that we can probably rely on more than the BLS. I tend to agree with Forbes on that because we just don't and can't trust the BLS data. And then finally for today, it's looking tougher for jobs in California. The unemployment rate climbed to 5.5% in July, which is now the highest among all U.S. states and the worst it's been since December. And this compares to the national average, which has currently been hovering around 4.2%. So times are tough in California. Hopefully it gets better out there soon. And that's it with your headlines. And now your fun fact for today. The modern resume was invented by Leonardo da Vinci around 1482. He wrote a letter listing his skills and experiences to the Duke of Milan in hopes of securing employment as a military engineer. Now, we should all be extremely thankful. It probably wasn't a great resume. The world certainly has been much better off that Da Vinci took a much different career path than being a military engineer for the Duke of Milan. So there you go. Your headlines, your fun fact. Thanks for listening. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe to the channel. Share it with anyone you think might be interested. And I appreciate you watching. Thanks. Talk to you tomorrow.